I think just to cut through the chase of it all, I think he's overthinking it.
Cut through the chase or cut to the chase?
Damn it.
Man of the year, man of the year, man of the year. Welcome to the #1 friendship podcast in the country. I'm Aaron Karo.
I'm Matt Ritter.
Make sure to check out manoftheyearpodcast.com for merch and watch our videos on YouTube. Happy New Year, Matt.
Happy New Year. Merry New Year.
I was thinking about maybe doing a Happy Man of the New Year pun.
Happy Man of the New Year.
Yeah, but
doesn't roll off the tongue.
Doesn't roll off the tongue. This is a time for New Year's resolutions. And first, I just want to know, what do you think about New Year's resolutions?
Always done it. I think we maybe talked about this last year. My sister and I always share each other's.
Oh, we did talk about it.
We've been doing it for 20 years.
Wait, so what were your ones this year?
Oh, you want to get into this?
No, last year. I'm sorry, last year.
Oh, I don't want to get into all of it. We gotta
What do you mean?
over it. Well, because then I'd have to go over the things I accomplished, the things I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say I achieved some of it and some of it I didn't, but I don't always expect to.
Interesting.
Do you?
What do you? Is there a difference between manifesting? Is it related to manifesting?
I think some of them are more manifesting and some of them are more.
Some are aspirational.
Achievement. Like the workout ones are not manifest related.
Right.
You don't have to manifest a daily workout regimen.
Right. The reason why I asked is I was thinking about you.
Yeah.
So we had this work drinks last week, and you said sort of matter of factly, Karo's a cynic, I'm the optimist.
Yeah.
And I take issue with that.
Okay.
I think I'm the realist and you're a lunatic.
Fair. I think that's probably the same thing, just tweaked a little bit.
Right. That's
just a tiny tweak.
And
I mean, that's why there's a term cockeyed optimist.
Right.
Optimists have a little bit of craze in them and also a little bit of self-delusion.
But you call me a skeptic, which is a little bit derogatory, and I think it's more realist.
I think it's a little just because of your tone.
but jumping off that, we were talking about, I think in episode 50, how you are manifesting. You said you invented manifesting.
Yeah.
It was really funny. But I actually don't think you manifest. I've been thinking about this a lot. You decide something's true. Mm-hmm. That's factually untrue. Mm-hmm. And then you make large decisions based on it.
Okay. Okay.
Was that accurate?
I don't know exactly.
You'll be like, well, we're going to be writers in SNL next year, so we can't schedule this because we're going to be in New York.
Yes.
I'm like, what?
Yes, that is actually how I live my life.
Okay. And I'm coining that Mattifestations.
I love it. That's the greatest thing you've ever
Manifestations.
Manifestations.
And
so I manifest.
I think it's the root of every air quotes disagreement we've ever had, which you're like, but Karo, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, is he mentally, what is he talking about?
Because you can't see my manifestation.
Only you can see him.
Only I can see them. I see success everywhere. I see our Oscar over there. Wow.
Yeah.
I guess that is true, right? And so it's such a fascinating sort of friendship dynamic statement that you just made. It so heavy because it makes me realize on such a basic level, I see things that you don't see. And you, flip side, see walls that I don't see.
Yeah. Yeah. Or just see things the way they are.
No. Walls. Walls that that the velvet bulldozer
goes through. But saying walls is sort of you identify me as a skeptic.
Yes, because that's how I see the world. But I think it's interesting because you're saying you see the world differently. And I think it's just hey, we're as close as two friends could be. And yet we have totally different, what we look at, we don't see the same thing all the time. We get in, I wouldn't call them fights. No. We just, but it's so funny because that's just such a root of so much friendship sort of misunderstandings, I think.
Yeah.
And so, but also the root of a lot of positivity in friendships, because by the same token, I value your, I'll call it realism now that I know it hurts your feelings.
Yeah.
And I think you've now come to see the value in my manifestations.
Well, I didn't say see the value.
As we now are crushing everything that I said we were going to do.
Yes. I think you have to call it out. And that has made me understand you. By the way, we've been friends since 1986. We do the podcast for over a year. I figured this out 2 months ago. But as we go through our New Year's resolutions, that's just something I was thinking about. Was this going to be a manifestation or a resolution?
For me, a couple of mine are manifestations.
All right, you want to do friendship New Year's resolutions first?
Let's start with that. It's a friendship pod. Let's
okay.
Get into
do you
that.
want to go first?
You go first.
Okay. I need to do a better job of honoring my existing friendships. I feel like in 2023, I spread myself a little thin, either meeting new people or making new friends. I mean, it was also a very crazy year of traveling, whatever. And I feel like, the inner circle, like I sort of neglected them a little bit.
You can, except for me, you can dishonor our friendship and go give more time to those other guys.
Yes. No. Well, I over-indexed on you.
Yeah. Go give it to Jeff and Fireball and our Plainview crew.
And in very early in my career, I'll never forget this. I was trying to get this agent to sign me, and I was like, I'm doing this show. I think it might have been in New York, and he's like, I'm not sure I can make it, but it was like the only show I was doing at that time. I was like, you should come to the show, and he was like, I really want to make it. I really want to meet you. Like, just so you know, like I have existing clients. And he didn't say it like that, but he was like, I have to honor my existing clients first and then new business second. And it stuck with me. It's been 20 years.
I like that.
And I feel like I haven't been honoring my existing friends enough.
I love that. It's like, remember in the Addams Family, he's like, we don't talk about new business until we have old business. And he had this like giant book and you had to get through the old business and people would be like, no, that's new business. He'd be like, no, that's new business.
Yeah.
But Tully, it's not old business. He's going to have to wait. You know the rules better than that.
Why? But this is different. This is in my name. Make an exception.
Old business is old business, and new business is new business, and this is new business, and we do not discuss new business until next quarter.
Next quarter. That's great. So have you like game planned this, or is it just the idea of it and you're going to just make sure you kind of have that awareness of it?
Actually, that reminds me of a New Year's resolution tip/hack that I have. Because I will use New Year's resolutions selectively. As you know, I'm a good habit former.
Yes.
You have to read some book.
Yeah.
But I just naturally...
Some book.
The number of...
James Clear, Atomic Habits, sold 1 billion copies.
So this is not going to be super helpful because it's already January 2nd. But what I do is I start my New Year's resolutions before the end of the year. So if you recall, 3 years ago, I decided I was going to meditate. I started December 1st. I'm now on like 1,300 days in a row.
I love that.
So
hack.
this is too late for our listeners.
I love that hack.
Yeah.
I love that hack too, because I feel like my trainer always says that about just like the gym. He's always like, you get all these people in January. They're not the winners.
Oh.
He's like, the people who come in December, they're the winners. So it's basically like what you're saying.
So,
not that it's not a good idea to start it. Anytime you start is still good.
To be honest, I haven't started. I'm not even sure how to.
That's what I was asking.
Execute.
What's the execution of it?
I think I'm thinking it's being more intentional with the inner circle and,
But do you look at your social fitness, right? Because we talk about that a lot. You look at your entire social universe. Do you now go, okay, I look at my month. I've scheduled 4 social engagements, none of which are with my quote unquote crew.
I'm worried, honestly, Matt. I'm worried that I'm like, what is it? We said this a couple episodes ago, a mile long and an inch deep. Like the friend group is too big.
Right. Okay. Listen.
Yeah. High class problem.
High class. No, but it is. I think what you're saying is a great tip/hack.
Yeah.
Above that, which is just honor your existing friends. That's one of our I think for our pod is like, for all the talk we say about making and maintaining friendship, and we get all these listener questions that are always like, they always amuse me when they're like, so I've got like a couple of amazing friends, and then I've got this other friend group that treats me like shit. It's like, hello.
Right. But you know what it is? I think I just diagnosed myself. The new friends are the shiny object. You want to see them.
Sexy.
Yeah, they are. And like you forget, or I had dinner with Jeff the other day and I was just like, why haven't we done this in like 6 months? This is so fun because you forget you're bouncing around to the new people.
God, you're going to hate my friendship one then.
Oh no. Okay, let's hear it.
Well, this is, I think broader. No, I was just kidding when I said you hate it, because it's not about existing friends. I want to become more embedded with my community, my local neighborhood.
More.
Yeah,
you're deep cover.
No, it's not real. It's surface. So a lot of it is surface, hi, bye, coffee, blah, blah, blah. I want to create and foster community right here where I live, in the communities that I care about. So whether that be the Jewish community that I'm I just have dabbled in a little bit by joining the temple, or now the new parents of the neighborhood that we've been like dancing around and getting together. Like I want to lean into that because I'm going to be in this neighborhood for the next, hopefully 20 years, whatever. I really want to lean into that. But part of that is I want to be, and this is like, I feel like you're going to lie. I want to be like a pillar of the community, like I want to be a leader of the community.
You do.
Because I think I have it in me. I think a lot of this goes back to when I do these resolutions or manifestations. It's because I know what I'm capable of and not just professionally. And I always sort of challenge myself to be that person. And I don't feel like I'm there yet, and I want to be.
I absolutely love this. By the way, you give big pillar of the community energy.
PC.
Yeah, PC. PC. Well, I think we talked about this. I have MD, maitre d' energy, you have PC. So, but that's almost a reverse resolution of mine. That's
what I was saying. That's why I was like, oh, you're not going to like this.
Yeah, no.
But like I already did get a speed bump on our block to protect all of our children.
Meanwhile, it's so slow to get to your house now. I hate it.
I know. I love it. It's so safe for my children. And everybody's children in there.
Okay, tomato.
So that's that.
Weren't you like not complaining, but like, weren't you recently saying like, now I can't even get to the coffee because I got to send 7 highs and...
I was. So I'm a hypocrite.
Now you want everyone to stop you and be like, hey, see that new trade trunk?
No, I love it. But I'm saying it's less about that. It's more about let's make substantive plans with the people that I do like in the community.
Right. Can we also make an intention? Let's talk about these in a year. Different than you and your sisters. Let's actually go back.
Let's go back to this a year from now.
See how we did.
Okay, should we go to our second one?
Yeah. Also, what do you think about calling them New Year's Res-BRO-lutions?
Okay, I love it. It's funny. You know what's funny to me is that I can't talk about this because we have a lot of kind of big things in the works. And every time Karo in meeting or like pitch uses some like bro pun, at first I'm like, oh, they're going to hate this. And then everybody loves it.
Yeah, of course. I'm very lovable.
Yeah.
Okay, this one was actually almost going to say my main one. This is more of a personal development one, but it is very friendship related. Okay. I want to be less reactive and more reflective. It does manifest with us because you're the only one I generally have any sort of quote disagreement with. Mm-hmm. Immediately I get a little riled, and I think I'm pretty good about. I mean, it happened yesterday that I brought it back. You don't get riled. That's one of your main traits, and like, it's not a good personality trait of mine. Like I can't be so reactive. It's not healthy.
It's great. This is great. I love hearing this.
How do I do it?
I think it's just pausing, like.
Right.
It's just taking a breath. I think literally just pausing, taking a breath. It's like the way you protect my emails.
Dude, we talked about this in another episode. You're reflective in real life, but not in your emails. And I'm reflective in emails, not in real life.
But I don't send those emails.
Sometimes you send the emails.
I send them to you first.
Sometimes you shoot them out.
Right. Yeah. But I try not to. So I'm saying it's like, have a level, right? Or maybe it's like, call me somebody or somebody that you trust to be like.
But sometimes you're there. It's
because of you. In the room.
It's because you're fucking manifesting.
Tell producer Theo, hey, I'm about to freaking scream at this guy.
But I was thinking, I want to empower you, and I want you to want to think about this. Like, I kind of want you to. I don't want to say call me out.
Yeah.
But I do want you to kind of mention it.
Okay. Well, listen, I had always sort of thought of it as, okay, I take my friends as they are. I'm not trying to like change.
No, change me.
Okay. But I'm saying, so sometimes it's like, I accept people for who they are. And so if they're reactive, I have reframed it. So over the course of this past year, when we've had these, somewhat frequent disagreements about strategy or whatever, I have reframed it from, Karo's super reflective and it's super annoying to a positive.
Super reactive and super annoying.
Super reactive and I have reframed it as, okay, then I need to strengthen my argument to convince him.
I think that also may be slightly different. That's when I'm sort of dug in.
Yeah.
This is more when I get the slightest hothead.
Yeah.
Like what? It's almost defensive would be almost another word for it. I'm like, I didn't do it like I did yesterday. I'm like, I wasn't. What are you talking about? And then,
all right, I'll call you out. Happy to do it.
Yeah.
Happy to do it.
Yeah. I think I'm able, the same thing with my therapist telling me it's not personal in the gym. I kind of need an affirmation. I walk around the gym going, I'm like, honestly, like Raymond, I go, not personal, not personal, not personal.
You don't have to tell me twice to call you out.
God, this is going to be horrible.
Should I tell you mine?
Yeah.
So this is, again, I've been doing a lot of thinking about where I am, where I want to be, who I want to be. And I think on some level I've gone too far into a direction that I like, where I've shed some of the things about myself that I had framed as a negative, but now I want to bring back. So I want to be more spontaneous.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So as a person, I've always sort of been the crazy guy of a group of friends. And then, I tried to mature and grow up, and now I'm a dad and I feel like everything is stable in my life and it's routine and I enjoy routine, but I also now feel like I've not given myself enough room for spontaneity, on whether it be just travel or just even daily, just to like go do something outside of my pretty routine Karo-like structure of my days now.
You went too far Karo.
Yeah, I feel I went too Karo. Never go full Karo. Yeah, that's the sort of awareness that I've had of like, okay, you know what, you can still be a little more spontaneous in your life, and you're not gonna go back to like crazy Matt.
Right. That's an interesting one. Well, first of all, I don't want to bring it back to me, but that sounds like terrible. I hate spontaneity.
Mm-hmm. You're rubbing off on me.
I mean, you also have a young child. I mean, how spontaneous like
can you be?
Yeah, like
right. And I think I've used that as an excuse to not really be any this year.
What does spontaneity do for you?
Lights me up. Like if I just am like, hey Jesse, let's get in the car and let's just go to Joshua Tree right now. Like, I don't know, there's something about spontaneity that does something to you, that it like creates some sort of energy inside of you. That's, I don't know, it's self-sustaining, and it's like, you're alive. It makes you feel alive.
How do you think you can execute on that?
I think I can just sort of, look at sort of, you know what, I haven't done anything this month that I just wanted to do for me, or, maybe I can sort of look in the calendar and be like, wow, it's been a month since I've done anything for myself. Like, that's just like, or I haven't called, I haven't just like haven't left LA.
Yeah.
California is this beautiful state, and I feel like I'm not taking advantage of that anymore. We used to do a lot of that. Like, why, Big Bear is an hour from here and it's beautiful mountains, and I love the outdoors. So maybe it's just as simple as that. Or it's like, hey, it's 2:00. You know what? I'm just going to go to Griffith Park. It's right there.
Right. You could also, and I'm sure you have and will do this, tell your wife that you want to do this.
Yeah. I haven't told her that.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, loop her in. I want to be, if you're doing anything fun, I want the invitation.
Yeah.
I will.
You have the soft pass. Soft pass. But you always want the invite. Fine.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's that.
Okay. So last one's sort of more of a skill type thing. Do you want to?
No, I like this. I like this.
So I decided to learn Hebrew.
Ooh. Manishma.
I haven't gotten that far yet.
Okay.
This actually.
Atalo medaber ivrit.
Can you speak Hebrew? Like
a little bit. Tan.
Like as well as you can do like Spanish? Or better or
less.
Okay.
Less.
So could you go to a bar and have a conversation in Tel Aviv?
No.
Okay. So you have a couple words, right? So I don't want to say ironically, but this actually started before what's all going down. I have a bunch of Israeli friends, and I went to Israel a couple times last year, and I was like, I don't know, did we used to know Hebrew in Hebrew school? We sort of learned it.
It was Bush League, real Bush League education by non-native Hebrew speakers, because when you go to public school, you get like an Italian lady who teaches you Spanish, and like your friend's dad who went to Birthright once teaching you Hebrew at Hebrew school.
So in typical Karo fashion, I actually started 2 months ago with Duolingo.
Yeah.
It's 5 minutes a day.
Yeah, I did the Hebrew one this year. I did it for like 6 months. Yeah.
Duolingo?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So I'm starting where I'm just learning the alphabet.
Wow.
Well, because I realize now, like Spanish, French, at least you could read the words.
Right.
I don't even know what these things mean.
Right. It's trickier.
And there's no vowels.
It's very tricky. There's those little dots.
No, but those are what you use to learn as the training wheels. And real
They don't
Israelis
have those dots.
They don't have those dots.
Yeah. Without the dots, you're lost.
It's fucking insane.
Yeah.
So I'm going, but like I want to, again, well, let's come back to this in a year. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'll be able to like talk in Hebrew.
Lo.
Ken.
Lo.
Ken.
That's great.
Yeah.
This is like a professional one, so I always put the professionals. These are the
Mattifestations.
I just think, again, I'm trying to get to a place with this career now. I feel like we're really rocking and rolling with everything we're doing here. I'm really rocking and rolling with the writing. I just want to utilize all my full skill set, and I think performing, like I want us to go on tour. Like I want to get back into the performing.
Yeah.
I love it. I miss it. I just feel like I have a lot to offer in that element of it. And that's like my complete sort of skill set that I've been given, like the gifts that I've been given. And I just have to be able to, get those out there to the world. And I feel like we're, I don't know, part of it is like, they want to put you in these boxes in Hollywood and you're this, you're that. And then like when the writing takes off, they're like, oh, you're a writer. Or the podcast takes off, you're like, oh, you're a podcaster. But I feel most creatives, are really well-rounded in all these areas. And they, kind of like go, oh, I'll just go with this. And I remember when I moved here and I started doing reality TV stuff, I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'll just do this. And I was fine with that. And I was like, that's not really what I really want. And now I'm like closer to what I really want. And I just want to be more honest with the things that I want to do. And so I want to like be able to go, okay, I also want to perform more. So I got to really figure out a way to do that.
I will say, I love that. I don't know, the past 20 years, you, whenever there's a beat where you're not performing as much, you actually bring that up a lot. So you're very consistent.
Yeah.
Very
it comes, it tells my body keeps telling me that. So,
yeah.
So yeah, those are the.
What do you think we would, because we perform many times together, but by together as stand-ups, it's one of us on stage, one of us on stage. What do you think we'd be like? We gave like a wedding toast together.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I was thinking like when we go on tour for the pod, like maybe we should do some riffs and like just mess around, because I see these guys doing it and it seems like it would be easy for us.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, what do you think our improv? Do you think we could just do a fully improv show, the two of us?
Yeah, but that scares me.
Well, it should. It's fucking
terrifying. Yeah. But not a lot scares me. Like just that like style. I give those guys a lot of credit for doing it, but I do feel like we could probably do it. It wouldn't worry me, but I feel like we should dabble with it and see, like when we get out there, I think we should dabble. Yeah. Like it's 5-10 minutes of it. Yeah.
Well, I wish you luck on all your New Year's Res-BRO-lutions.
I like it. I don't even wish you luck, because I know you're going to do it.
And we're going to come back in a year and we're going to see where we came.
I feel good about that.
Should we take a listener question?
Let's do it.
Asking for a friend.
All right, guys, this is Asking for a Friend. If you have a friendship question or ethical dilemma, send it to us and we will answer on the show. You can hit us up on Instagram, Man of the Year Podcast. This one actually, this guy goes, he's a fan, Ed, and he listens to the pod, but he doesn't have social. So he like just found my email address online and emailed me.
Okay.
So I was like, hey, great. Using some, what's it called? Not,
investigative.
What? No, more like elbow juice.
Grease.
Yeah.
Elbow juice. Grease. Yeah. Elbow juice.
What did I say?
Elbow juice. That's like when you break a turkey leg and juice pours out. Elbow juice.
Okay. So Ed says, I recently read he said he loves the podcast, blah, blah. Thank you, Ed. I recently read an article about friendship that gave voice to a recurring fear I have when I think about reaching out to my buddies. I honestly fear that if I reach out to my friends too frequently, I'll appear to be desperate or overeager to spend time together. As silly as it sounds, I feel like there are unwritten rules on how often I could spend time with a friend. For example, I think it could be perceived as weird to hang out in person on back-to-back days. I also think people are shocked when other people reply to text as soon as they arrive. The immediate reply disrupts the myth that everyone is always busy in America. So it feels safer sometimes for me to let some time elapse before responding. These unwritten rules help us save face from appearing needy, lonely, or bored. The fact that I do need friends and my life feels richer with them the more I spend time with them, whether it's getting a meal, taking a hike, having a couple drinks. These interactions brighten up my day, make me feel special, like life feels special. This article asserts when people hold back, we limit the opportunity for deeper friendships. I'd be curious to know if you and Matt ever encountered this dynamic with your friend group.
Wow. First of all, so right about all of it. That's my first reaction.
I knew you'd love this question.
He's so right about all this, and we haven't really covered that.
Yep.
Wow. How do we want to break this down? So first, just the sort of unwritten rules.
Yeah.
I think they are definitely, they exist. Would you agree?
The unwritten rules of friendship.
Yeah. Everything he's talking about are unwritten rules.
What are the unwritten rules of friendship?
Well, this idea of, time between hangs, time between texts, time between response, like those are all things.
That seems like dating stuff.
No, I think some of the stuff he said is real. Like I think if you have some friends who are constantly texting you to hang out, like there's an imbalance that it gets felt, right? Mm-hmm. Or when people respond immediately, like I do think on some level we all sort of have a reaction to that. Now, do I think it's like correct to feel that way? No. Like I think it's great. And I respond sometimes not at all or right away. Like,
right.
I don't have any style of it.
I actually think that part kind of confused me. I feel like responding right away is the kind of hustle culture.
Right.
Like not responding is like you're not busy or not, or you're just like not responding right away. When people respond right away, you're like, oh wow, they're on top of shit. They're very type A.
Yeah. Or I guess that's how you perceive it. Or some people perceive it as like, oh, there's nothing going on. They're waiting by the phone.
Right.
I think just to cut through the chase of it all, I think he's overthinking it.
Cut through the chase or cut to the chase?
Damn it.
Maybe a little elbow juice on that.
So would you agree? Like, I would say you're overthinking it. And I want us to not do that as part of our pod is like, let's not be afraid based on things like that.
That was obviously my first reaction too. I mean, are the friends, like what are the friends who want to hang out? Hang out.
Right. So I think part of it is, well, what is the response that you're getting from this? Right. So if you're texting your friends a lot and you're just getting ice, something's going on.
Right.
And it's not about the rate of the texts.
Yeah.
Because I bombard you with texts.
Okay. We have to talk about the fact that I text from my laptop.
Oh yeah. That's great.
I have iMessage on my, you have iMessage on your laptop?
What did I say the other day?
Okay.
It was so funny.
So I will text on my phone if I'm out and about, but 90% of the time, if we're texting, I'm on my computer.
So weird. It's the weirdest thing I've ever.
And Matt thinks it's bizarre. He goes, I can hear you texting. You're like Stephen Hawking.
Yeah.
I want to ask our listeners, do you text from your laptop?
Of course they don't.
Texting from your phone.
Hold on. I need Theo to chime in.
Okay.
Here.
I think anyone with a Mac would way rather text from their laptop than their phone.
What?
It's just much more efficient. Why? Like, if I'm at my house, I'll put texting off for like 30 minutes. Be like, I'm going to be home in 30 minutes. I can send this from the computer. It'll be better.
Yeah, all the time. All the time.
Theo's blowing my mind here.
First time you ever called on Theo when he got
I'm surprised. I'm appalled.
Wait, so Matt, you have the option of the computer
he doesn't
text,
even know how to set
and you're
it
not
up.
taking it?
Yeah, I don't really know how
to do it.
Yeah, he knew. You knew it. You knew I don't know how to do that.
Some people don't like it because then like anybody else can see your text on your computer.
That's why I shut it off. I don't want those prying eyes, Jesse. Those prying eyes, Jesse.
But like the idea that you would sit at your desk with your computer and text on your phone is bananas to me.
Audience, please chime in on this. Do you prefer texting like a normal human from your phone or like an alien creature that is trying to pretend to be human like Karo?
If I will defend Matt, the one thing that the computer text does is distract you. So if you have the option of texting from your computer while you're like working,
right? That's why I would have thought Karo would never want to do that.
You?
Because you're busy working.
Whereas you can just put your
You
phone
can just shut your
somewhere
phone on
else.
silent.
Yeah.
Put your phone on silent.
I don't have notifications on.
On your computer?
Yeah.
So you don't see the text.
Generally speaking, I'll see it on my phone and then I'll look at it. And
Oh
I'm
my God. The whole thing makes
Well,
no
so
sense.
you get a ding on your computer when you get a text?
Well, no, but you see like the little thing.
That's
flash
what I'm
Wow,
saying.
or
turn that
whatever.
off. Turn all notifications
No.
off. Do you get notifications for emails on your computer?
I don't know.
Matt,
I don't know.
come on,
I
Matt.
don't think so.
Do you get notifications
No,
for
no
email?
sounds. No.
Do you get a little pop-up?
No.
No pop-up, but on the text message, you get the little like red one over the message app.
Yes, but if you're already looking at your phone at that point.
Peripherals, baby.
Where did this come from? Let's get back on track.
And that's asking for a friend. The guy, he doesn't want to text.
Yeah, no, I mean, as I said, I think it's, you're thinking, I don't want us all thinking that way. I said, I want to validate your thought that this is real, and we all kind of have these thoughts sometimes when somebody's like, whoa, texted me right away, or am I texting this person too much? The thing that I think is the most real of what he said is like, is there an unwritten rule about hanging out with somebody 2 days in a row?
Do you want to hang out? I don't know.
Yeah.
I never even thought about that.
Yeah.
I mean, occasionally we'll go out and then I'm like, hey, I saw you yesterday.
I'm saying I think people have those thoughts like, oh, I just saw him yesterday. I'm not going to call him. But I want to get over that. Like, I think part of the pod is getting over that. If you're in the moment wanting to see a friend, even if you know you're going to see them tomorrow or you just saw him yesterday, don't be afraid to be like, let's hang out,
I think your initial response was exactly right. What are the other people saying? If they're saying, yeah, I'd love to hang out, then you're fine.
Right. I think, but flip side is, how do we
normalize it?
No, how do we slightly tweak our behaviors if they are getting a sort of cold shoulder? And is it because of that? I mean, I'd have a hard time believing that like it's because of the frequency of the text that you're not getting a good relationship response. I think there's likely deeper issues, right? Because as I said, I bombard Karo with texts. He's not like, oh, I can't be friends with this guy. He texts too much.
But I'm sorry to go back to my texting for a second. My sister says that I have a unique texting staccato because it's coming from the computer. So I'm like, enter, boom, boom. Usually you type a whole long thing with your thumbs on a phone and you hit send. I'm like, brr, brr, brr.
Right.
She goes, I always know when you're texting. I can hear the things from across the room.
Yeah, I do hear that. Dum, bum, bum.
Your question was, what was your question?
No, we were just talking about how to rectify if you are coming in a little hot.
Well, if you recognize it,
yeah.
I mean, just pull back a little bit.
Right. I mean, I think you could pull back, right? Exactly. Just pull back a little, see if that changes the dynamic at all. Because if it's not about that, you'll know right away by pulling back your frequency. But if you do want to hang out with your friends all the time, that's great.
Okay. See what were you gonna say?
Well, it's just like there's the mental aspect of like I've sent the last like 4 texts, 5 texts. It's like, am I gonna send another one? Like, should we drop that, or is that valid?
Well, here's a question. Does the other person want to hang out with you?
Right.
Is Ed a friendship vampire? We've never talked to a friendship vampire.
Right. So I think, it depends on how long goes by. Because I never think along those lines. I'm never like, oh, I sent the last 4 texts, I can't text. I think some people do think that way. And if that does happen again, like I have had some friends who it's like over the course of 2 years, I invite you to things and you never ever respond. Then I'm just like, all right, you're not really investing anything at all in this friendship. I never think they have to be 50-50 because I think that's not realistic.
Yeah.
And then I guess the other question is, let's say you and Karo have seen each other 2 times, 3 times this week already.
I need a pause.
It's like,
need a break.
And then something comes up. You're like, Karo's like, round 4?
Yeah.
No,
I think there is some validity to that. I have to say, to what he said about like, oh, is there like, again, like if you just saw somebody twice, you probably are both having that same thought.
Well, going back to my New Year's resolution, okay, I just had a great one-on-one dinner with Jeff. Like, I probably need to do my next one-on-one dinner with someone else in the inner circle.
Right.
I mean, by the way, would love to get another dinner with Jeff. It was so fun.
Could never have enough dinners with Jeff.
And he treated me. He paid for me like a date.
I got to go out with Jeff.
It was great.
Well, so Karo, what would you do if Jeff was like, what do you say we just do this again next Friday night?
I would probably say no, but not because...
Yeah, he would say no. Karo would say no.
But it's not. What's wrong with me?
He just told me he said no to one of our really good friends his so-called best.
Save it for the next episode. We have a
okay.
whole episode about it. But it's not because I fucking would go to the mats for Jeff. It's just like, you know, like give me, you know.
Yeah. I think an answer.
I don't actually know.
Right. I think an answer to our listener
Love you,
question. Jeff. An answer to our listener question, pull back a little bit on the frequency of the text just to see if that is actually what's going on and see how that goes. But if it is a situation where you're just not getting reciprocation, then that is a bit of a signal of like, if somebody's like, I don't want to hang out that much, then they don't want to hang out that much.
You know, we're always doing sort of like mental jujitsu, like on the listener. Like, what are they saying? Reading through it kind of like doesn't seem like he's not talking about the reactions at all. This feels like an internal thing.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, he's self-conscious as well.
Right. That's what I said. And I said, let's get over that.
I think you're fine, Ed.
Yeah. Let's get over that. I think
you're fine, Ed.
We don't want our podcast listeners to be doing that. We want you not to second guess. I send 10 texts. He sends 2. Who cares?
Right.
If your relationships are healthy and you're enjoying the time you spend with people, then you're good.
Could he ask one of his buddies?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, because Karo can make fun of me for sending a barrage of texts. You should be able to have a thing where it's like, hey, do I send you too many texts? It should be like, yeah, dude, you fucking sent a lot of texts.
Yeah.
You know, like you should be able to have not tiptoeing around your style of communication with each other, I think.
Yeah. Like the other day I said, do I say yes and too much?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said, no, I like it.
Yeah.
Better than KPP, Karo poo-pooing.
Karo poo-poo.
I think that's good advice, but if it's like a newer friend, a little harder, you know?
New friends, you got to abide by society's rules.
Yes.
We said, don't be crazy.
Right. Yeah. Just don't be a fucking weirdo. I think we got it.
Yeah.
Ed, thank you so much for that question. Let us know what happens. Like, give us some feedback.
Yeah.
Asking for a friend.
That was asking for a friend. If you have a listener question, send it to us on Instagram.
So what did we learn?
Well, I learned your New Year's Res-BRO-lutions for 2024, and I'm going to try to keep you accountable.
Okay. I learned that you came up with the best nickname ever, Mattifestations.
Let's see if we screwed anything up today. Theo, this is
Erroneous with
Thelonious.
So pretty clean show, but I have to cop to something. So you made an Addams Family reference.
Yeah.
And I know I should know about the Addams Family,
Oh my God.
but I got to say I don't. So I just need like the 1-minute summary.
Wait,
What's
you
going on?
You never heard of the
He
Addams
has
Family?
no idea what they are.
No, I've heard of it and I know I should know, but I don't know.
Did you look anything up since he said that? So what do you think?
Oh, this is great.
Okay. I'm thinking it could be a cartoon.
Okay.
It could be real. Not 100% sure on that, but
Okay.
I guess I would lean like cartoon.
Okay.
It's reminding me of that like stop motion kind of Nightmare on Elm Street,
Okay.
Nightmare Before Christmas kind of
Yeah,
vibe.
it's a
Okay.
Burton type thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and for some reason I'm thinking Alec Baldwin's involved.
Okay, but what do you think they're about, the Addams Family?
Or a character.
Well, there's definitely like a dad.
Okay.
Based on what you said, it seems like they have a bit family business.
Okay.
And I think they're a little weird. Maybe it's like a strange business, you know? It's not like
Okay.
a standard.
Your
It's like a
classic
fantasy
strange
business.
Yeah.
You know, they're doing weird stuff. I could see magic, potions, something like that.
Okay.
That's what I
so
got.
He kind of knows it.
Okay, first of all, you've never seen or heard of Wednesday?
The TV show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it, but I was like, that's for kids, you know?
I don't know what to say.
I don't know where to
I don't know what to
start.
say. Addams Family. I mean,
It's started as a
you
cartoon.
never heard the song, The Addams Family?
Have heard the song, yeah.
They're creepy and they're kooky. They're all
Is
together
Alec Baldwin involved?
spooky.
He was maybe in the live action.
No, that was Raul Julia.
Raul Julia. He's thinking of fucking Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I am thinking of Beetlejuice.
There's a similarity because they're like sort of dead. Not dead. They're like
Goth.
Goth.
You know, there's
Uncle
a hand,
Fester's dead,
There's
though.
a hand that walks around, freestanding hand,
Yeah.
thing called Thing. Have you heard of that?
I have heard of that. Yeah.
They're like the bizarre and they're not like the dead, but they're like, you know, I don't know what you call it.
It was a cartoon. I
Yeah.
think it was it started as.
There was a show in the 60s and 70s.
Are we ready for a fun fact?
Yeah.
Charles Addams, who created it, went to University of Pennsylvania, our alma mater.
Oh.
College Hall, which is like this main Gothic building, is the inspiration for the Addams Family house.
Did not know that.
Yeah. So there's in the fine art building, there's a gate and there's a bunch of hands, things like in honor of that.
Mm.
All right. Well, Theo, you never
You never even heard, are they made from real Girl Scouts?
Nope.
That's funny. But you should watch Wednesday. It's a pretty good show.
Yeah, and the Addams Family. It's a great movie.
That's our show. If you want to shout anybody out or yourself or your friends, hit us up on Instagram. Remember, be good to yourself, be good to your friends.
Love you, buddy.